we don't have to do anything. We just sit back, run the sideline, and there's just points going on the board. So
we're learning how to finish. I think that's the moral of the story. And it didn't look too pretty sometimes, but at the end of the year, the win counts as a win.
We talked about getting 2 in a row. We got 2 in a row. We talked about getting a division game. We got a division game. We talked about our first road win in 2 years here. And we got it. All 3 of them, man.
I told you guys, that if we went out and we played sound football and we ran the ball well and we ate up the clock and kept Justin Fields off the field, man, we'd have a legit chance at winning this game. And hot damn, fellers. Hot damn, we came out and we did it. We got MCDC's first road win, and the Lions are on a 2-game winning streak. So let's talk about what went down out in Chicago this past weekend. Week 10 review. Let's go.
Welcome to Detroit.
All right, welcome back, fellas. As you guys know, I'm Hat and Beard. We're here to discuss the Lions' Week 10 victory on the road at Soldier Field against the fighting Justin Fields, because, man, that kid is very talented. He had his way with us on the ground. Let's be honest, fellas. Justin Fields looked electric. He looks like the second coming of Michael Vick. He only threw the ball a few times, so he didn't get to see his arm too much. He hooked up with Cole Kmet for an 80-some-yard touchdown pass. Now, granted, that was blown-ass coverage. And again, our defense looked relatively porous the majority of the game. But our defense stepped up and made plays when they needed to. We'll discuss that here in a little bit later in the video.
Is that a fact? That's a fact.
First thing we need to go over in the game, guys, is exactly what we have been talking about all week last week. Getting that road victory monkey off of Dan Campbell's back. And we finally did it, fellers. We finally did it. Dan Campbell got out there. It was a 1-point win. Look, I don't care. 31-30, 29-28, 100-0. A road on the win in the division, no less. In the division. We win on the road in the division for MCDC's first road win. You get a little bit of momentum, right? You see how the one win against Green Bay gave us a little bit more swagger.
That's big, man. You just start stacking them. All right, we won that one. You win this one. Now what are we going to do next week?
MCDC getting that first big road win, piling on a 2-game winning streak. Everything's kind of trending our way. Look, I'm not saying that we're going to the Super Bowl. I'm not saying we're going to go 11-6. But I'm saying it's nice to be trending in the right direction. And I find it incredibly ironic that the 2 weeks that we've had Hawk off the roster, 2 weeks since we've traded Hawk away to the Minnesota Vikings, we're 2-0. Now, I know the Vikings are 2-0 as well with Hawk. And you know what? Good for him. Whatever. Again, if you really love Hawkinson so much, then go put on your big fucking purple jersey and go suckle at the toes of the Minnesota Vikings. That's fine. We don't need you here. Go be a Hawk fan someplace else. But look, I'm guessing the Hawk might have been a problem in the locker room, because everything's better now. Everything's better with Hawk gone. So again, I was right. You were wrong. The Hawk trade worked out.
Please don't wear that hat.
Too stylish?
No. It's a big bloody stupid hat with a big bloody stupid curse on it, and every time you wear it, something bloody stupid terrible happens.
Another first that happened in this game was this is our first pick 6 since 2018. 4 years. And the guy who did it isn't even on the roster anymore. Is Darius Slay against Arizona in 2018. Yeah, man, that's how long it's been. Not only was it our first pick 6, it was Jeff Okudah's first career pick 6, his second career interception, and he did it against his former Ohio State Buckeye teammate, who they've been having a little bit of a back and forth with, being Big O and Little O. And look, man, it was awesome. Timing was everything. Now I know, the very next series, Justin Fields ripped off a 60-some-yard run for a touchdown to take the lead, and Jeff Okudah kind of got botched and lost in the sauce on that and kind of allowed that to happen. But we bounced back. We'll discuss that a little bit more. The culture is shifting, fellas. The culture is shifting.
What the hell is that? What is your motto here?
And our last first that I want to discuss is this is a super odd statistic that I didn't even realize. When you're a Lions fan, you kind of get used to losing so much that you don't realize how you lose all the time. We really hang ourselves up on the 1-point victories, the 1-possession victories. This last coaching regime has been Dan making bad mistakes, not taking the points. But you don't realize that the Lions haven't overcome a 14-point deficit in the second half since 1993. Yeah, that's a long time, dude. That's a long time. And we did it. We did it! We went on the road and we overcame a 14-point deficit for the first time since 1993. A couple of takeaways from the game. You know, I've talked about Jeff Okudah a little bit ago. And again, his pick six. His pick six was a shifting. You could see that it got into Justin Fields' head. You know, now I know he came back and ran the ball down for a touchdown, for a 60-some-yard touchdown, and Okudah got lost in the sauce. But you know what? The man made the pick. He read the play, okay? That's the other thing, is that the last two interceptions, well, not the last two, but Hutch's interception on Aaron Rodgers last week and Jeff Okudah's interception on Justin Fields this week has shown that, like, our guys are actually studious in film session, because both of those plays those men read beautifully, and both of those plays resulted in a turnover that we got points off. So you could almost say that those two, actually, almost say, you can 100% say, those two, we'll call them video interceptions, because that was purely them guys understanding what they've been seeing on tape and reacting to what they've been coached up to the whole week, and then capitalizing on it. Jeff Okudah immediately took the ball down and scored. Aiden Hutchinson, we scored on a drive after, on the ensuing drive after his touchdown. We were struggling to get points off of turnovers. In the past 2 weeks, we've scored 2 touchdowns directly after turnovers. That's awesome. That is shifting in the right direction. That is trending in the right direction for our franchise. Offensively, it wasn't really pretty, fellas. Nothing about this game was overly pretty.
You know, it didn't look too pretty sometimes, but you know, at the end of the year, the win counts as a win.
St. Brown did St. Brown things. St. Brown needs a second receiver to take some pressure off him. He can't carry this team the whole way. Look, he managed to do it this game, and it was awesome. But Goff did enough. I'm not saying Jared Goff is elite. Jared Goff did enough. He spread the ball around to enough players. He now force-fed St. Brown quite a bit there, especially at the beginning. In the first half, St. Brown had like 6 catches for over 100 yards. If he's going to be open, throw him the ball. But you need another target, right? Like, you can tell we're really missing, the offense is missing Josh Reynolds, and Jared Goff is really missing Josh Reynolds, because that was his safety blanket. You know, that's where the offense really turned its tide last year, is when we brought Josh Reynolds in off of waivers midway through the season. And he helps take a little bit of stress off of St. Brown, you know. Khalif Raymond, bless your heart, dude, you ain't drawing double coverage. Tom Kennedy, the greatest wide receiver to ever play the game, makes Jerry Rice look like the JV squad.
No.
You know, he can only do so much. He had an awesomely big play, though, and in a clutch situation, bro. Look, I know nobody knows anything about Tom Kennedy outside of the fandom in Detroit, but bro, seriously, Tom Kennedy, come on. Let's make Tom Kennedy a thing. Let's make Tom Kennedy a thing, man. Jared Goff did just enough, though. He did just enough to get us over the hill, to take the team and push us into the victory lane. Also, again, I find it incredibly hilarious that Jared Goff threw a touchdown to Brock Wright. So in the 2 weeks the Hawk's been gone, we've thrown 1 touchdown to all 3 tight ends. James Mitchell and Shane Zylstra last week, and Brock Wright this week. I'm just saying, y'all. I'm just saying. I can't prove it, but based on the way I see the team act on the field, TJ Hockenson must have been some kind of asshole. So now, knowing that we do need another wide receiver threat, another pass catching threat, the question now does have to become, do we actually roll J-Mo back out when he's healthy? Because, God, it sounds so weird to say we're trending on a win streak. I mean, it's not outside of the realm of possibilities that we can be a very annoying team for other teams moving forward this season. We can play spoiler for a lot of playoff dreams, man. St. Brown needs another wide receiver out there to help take some of the burden off of him. I was very against J-Mo playing because we were rolling the tanks. 2 games of winning have definitely changed my opinion about that. At the same time, do you risk J-Mo getting hurt considering he's the future? I'm very torn. So please comment down below. We're going to keep having this conversation, fellas, about what we do with J-Mo. Do you bring J-Mo back? Do you roll the Ferrari out and let him torch the NFL? Do you risk blowing a tire? Do you risk hurting him? Do you risk dinging him up? I don't know, man. I'm so conflicted. With this because we need the help, but I don't want to hurt our player, man. So drop a comment down below what you think we need to do. Our offensive production wasn't very pretty on the ground either. I mean, Jamal was effective in doing Jamal Williams things.
I feel like now finally is like our effort and everything and just staying in the game, doing our best, trying to just execute, finally paid off this time.
DeAndre Swift, I don't understand DeAndre Swift. He's very electric. Even when he's hurt and in limited capacity, he's scoring touchdowns, right? He's very electric. If we could figure out a way to just like enshrine him in bubble wrap or like carbonite during the off season so that his body is completely fine until the regular season. I don't know what to do with DeAndre Swift. How can we keep him healthy? Because when he's on the field, our offense is so good, man. It's so good. He essentially acts as that secondary pass catcher to alleviate the pressure off of Amon-Ra. And he's so fast. He's so fast. That touchdown run. He was untouched, man. He was untouched. It was beautiful. It was frustrating to see as a guy who played Jamal Williams in DFS to see that touchdown get poached. But, you know, what you going to do, man? I'm just confused. What do you guys think we should do with Swift? Should Swift maybe... is he trending in the right direction? Should we continue to increase his workload? Do you think he can sustain an increased workload? Or is this going to be an RBC, a running back by committee, for the duration of the season? Because Craig Reynolds is on IR, Justin Jackson is effective, Jamal Williams can shoulder a 20-touch load every single week, and Swift can be your dynamic, flash-in-the-pan player that when he comes on the field, the defense is like, hey, 32, 32, 32. Like, they're all checking for him and shit, because kind of like, I don't want to say a Taysom Hill, I don't want to say a gadget-type player, but sort of like when you know he's on the field, you have to be very aware of him, regardless of if it's 1 snap, 2 snaps, 15 snaps. But how about Tom Kennedy, man? Like, seriously. Tom Kennedy. Good old Thumb Kennedy, man. In fact, you know what? Today, on this Monday, he's 2 Thumb Kennedy. He's 2 Thumb Kennedy.
Eat your lunch. You all need your vitamins A's and B's and It's an accident!
I told you what we needed to do, and we did it. Okay? We played ball control. We played smart. We made Justin Fields have to beat us with his arm. He beat us with his leg, but it wasn't enough. He needed to use his arm, and we took advantage of it. We also played fundamentally sound football. The Lions had only committed 2 penalties all game. That's very good football. That's smart, fundamental football. I know. In the second half, our offense seemed to sputter out, and I'm thinking, what the hell? Where you at, Big PP Ben Johnson? Come on, Ben Johnson. Come on, Big PP Ben Johnson. We need some offense. But he figured it out. And in the fourth quarter, he put it together. In fact, this is not the same old Lions. Everything about this Lions franchise is now different. The coaches are making the right decisions. The players are making plays when they need to make the plays. Okay? What normally has happened to the Lions for the last 20, 30 years, we are now doing to other teams. Okay? You know what? Our defense gave up 30 points. But our defense made the plays when they needed to make the plays. The culture is different. Aiden Hutchinson, for all the trash talking we gave him, all the running him down at the beginning of the season, you know, where is this number 2 overall pick? Where is all of the sacks, all of the production, all of the flash in the pan that we expect to see out of a 4-year All-Pro veteran? We were putting all this projection. We were projecting TJ Watt style production from last year onto a rookie this year. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous for us to have even thought that. I wish I could have tempered my expectations. Hutch still leads all rookies in sacks, and he got a big one. He got a big ol' one this game. But more importantly than that sack, Aiden Hutchinson had 10 tackles. Our defensive end had 10 tackles. And most importantly of all, when you go back and you watch the tape, late in the fourth quarter, the Bears were driving, and they were trying to punch it in for the touchdown with David Montgomery. David Montgomery is a very powerful running back. David Montgomery is good at breaking tackles. David Montgomery has a nose for the end zone, especially around the goal line. And you watch the play develop, and Hutch comes from the far side defensive end, and he slides down the line. And what does he do? Like fucking Stone Cold Steve Austin comes flying off the top rope with a stunner right. I mean, he came through, he wrapped up David Montgomery, and he flipped him around outside of the end zone. Stopped him from getting the points, dude. In the third quarter, when we needed to correct it, when the game was getting out of hand, when the Bears were about to break our fucking necks, man, Justin Fields threw an ill-advised pass, mildly under pressure, and Jeff Okudah, who'd been watching tape all week, seen the play that was developing, read it perfectly. Drop back, pick that sumbitch off. First career pick 6 for Jeff Okudah against his former college teammate. How awesome is that? We don't go away. We don't just fold in. We don't collapse. You don't see sad down players when we're down 14 points. No. You see our players challenging one another, getting in each other's shit, making them, pushing them harder. We're not going to be this loser-ass franchise no more. No. This franchise is different. This is not the same old Lions, man. It's turning around. It's turning around because we got a fire in us, dude. We keep taking these blows. We keep getting punched and beat down every game, and they just keep coming back. You find a way to win. You go out there and you find a way to win. 1 point, 5 points, 12 points, 100 fucking points. I don't give a shit. A W's a W, and we are not in the cellar of the NFC North for the first time in fucking years, feels like, man. This was an awesome win. And winning feels fucking good. So thank you, Chicago. Thank you, all you dipshits in Chicago who thought you were just going to trounce us, who thought you were just going to roll over the Lions. Y'all keep playing that game. All you fuckheads in the NFL, y'all keep playing this game of, oh, they're just the same old Lions, Fine, you know what, go ahead. We'll circumvent them expectations, man, and we'll come out and we'll bite you in the fucking kneecaps, dude. And then we'll get up and we'll bite your other fucking kneecap off too, man. Because you know what? At the end of the day, I don't care if you got one ass cheek and 3 toes, man. I will beat your ass. Let's fucking go, boys. I've been Hat and Beard. You've been an attentive audience. Let's enjoy this W, boys. Let's go out there and enjoy this W. Let's have a good week, man. Let's hope the Lions have a good week of practice. Things really come down to it, and we get ready for another big week 11, baby. Let's go. Let's keep this train rolling. You guys have a good week. We'll catch you in the preview video. We'll see you later. Peace.
Time to 23 Skidoo. Or should I say 69 Skidoo.